My name is Diana Bonney, and I am the Haitian Program Coordinator for All Blessings International Incorporated. The purpose of this video is to inform new families considering adoption from Haiti of our agency's experience and practices, the general Haitian adoption process and adoption eligibility, changes in Haitian adoption from pre to post-Hague, and to introduce you to ABI's Haiti partners. I will also spend some time discussing the frustrations, risks, and challenges that Haiti adoption can entail. First, I would like to tell you a little bit about All Blessings International Incorporated. ABI is a Hague-accredited, nonprofit organization licensed in the states of Kentucky and Missouri, but serving families living all over the United States and even abroad for Haitian child placement services. We first opened in 2002. ABI is a Christian agency. To us, this means that we will treat each client with honesty, compassion, and transparency. Being a Christian agency does not infer exclusion. We serve families of all faiths. Since opening in 2002, ABI has served hundreds of families and thousands of children through family preservation, humanitarian aid projects, and international adoptions. We believe in the innate worth of every individual child and seek to assist the children of the world by helping build families through adoption and providing humanitarian aid to children in need. It is this organization's firm belief that every child has a right to grow up in a family where he or she is loved, nurtured, protected, and appreciated for his or her unique individuality. Our agency is dedicated to preserving families whenever possible and placing children in permanent, loving families when it is not. We believe that every child has the God-given right to grow up in a permanent, loving family. These are the philosophies we bring to each program and adoption service we provide. Now, I would like to discuss information more specific to the ABI Haiti Adoption Program. All Blessings began working in Haiti in 2004 with a project in the mountains near Jolivet. We completed several adoptions between 2004 and late 2009 when I joined the agency as the Haitian Program Coordinator. I'm ABI's Haiti Program Coordinator, and I began working in Haiti in 2003. I am an adoptive mom to 5 Haitian-born children, and I speak Creole fairly well. This can be particularly helpful to overcome language barriers for an older child's transition into the adoptive family. I travel to Haiti approximately every other month to work with our orphanage partners or meet with government officials as needed. I sometimes serve as a liaison between Haitian Social Services and the Professional Association of U.S. Adoption Agencies, and have been involved in various initiatives and projects in child protection in Haiti. I maintain a blog for the agency detailing our in-country work and have been involved in the completion of over 300 Haitian adoptions. In short, I'm very experienced in Haitian adoptions, and I'm confident in my relationships with our Haitian counterparts. Haiti adoption is my calling. ABI received their accreditation from the Haitian government as one of the 19 approved American adoption agencies in January of 2013. Qualifications for Haitian eligibility have changed quite a bit since 1974, when the previous adoption law was ratified. For 2-parent families, Haiti accepts opposite-sex married couples with at least one parent age 30 and both parents no older than age 50. 5 years of marriage or 5 years of cohabitation. Families may have any number of biological and/or adopted children, provided that they can provide for the new adopted children. Please note that Haiti will not permit same-sex couples to adopt. Single applicants must be between the ages of 35 and 50. Single applicants may have any number of biological and adopted children, provided that they can also provide for the new adopted children. In addition to these requirements for couples or singles, certain Haitian criteria for adoption eligibility apply to all families. These include that applicants cannot have been convicted of any crime. Both parents are required to spend 2 weeks in Haiti after accepting their referral of a child or children. And ABI does not accept applications for infants only. Families may request to adopt a child between the ages of 0 and 2. However, the need for families is greatest for older children and siblings. Most of the children in need are healthy by third world standards and have no identified medical special needs beyond malnutrition and parasites. We have a constant need for families who are willing to adopt children older than 3 years old and sibling groups. We have placed a great many older children and siblings over the years, and they've done very well in their new families. The adoption timeline is something that all families, whether just beginning or well into the process, are keenly interested to know. With all of the recent changes in Haitian laws and policies, an exact timeline for Haitian adoptions is not known. The time from dossier submission to the Haitian government and the issuance of an adoption authorization is yet to be determined. We do know that once the adoption has been approved by Haitian Social Services, the remainder of the legal proceedings will typically take between 6 and 8 months. Families can anticipate a range of 12 to 30 months. International adoption from Haiti involves a lot of preparation, paperwork, and patience. ABI's Haiti adoption process begins with a preliminary application. This can be found on our website or by contacting our office and requesting it via email. When the preliminary application is approved, you will receive a formal application. This one will require more detailed and in-depth information for approval. When the formal is approved, you will receive the business agreement. The return of the business agreement will formally create your Haiti adoption file with our agency. If you don't live in Kentucky or Missouri, you will need to identify a home study agency in your state of residence. ABI will serve as your placing agency. Our staff will coordinate with your home study agency to ensure that your home study is written correctly for Haiti and for the Hague Convention. All families are required to participate in our adoption training program. This training program is a DVD and reading series that meets the adoptive parent education requirements of the Hague Convention. ABI staff will assist you in applying to the Department of Homeland Security for pre-approval to adopt and with assembling your adoption dossier. Your adoption dossier is a collection of documents that will allow the Haitian government to determine if your family is suitable to parent a Haitian-born child. You will be required to gather a number of documents, many of which must be notarized. An ABI dossier preparation specialist will assist you with compiling the documents. Once you send in your originals, she will have them authenticated, translated into French, and legalized at the Haitian consulate. When your dossier is complete, it will be sent to Haiti, where it will be legalized again. Then, at last, it will be ready to submit to the Haitian government's Department of Social Services, which is called IBESR. ABI will include a cover letter with your dossier specifying which of our orphanage partners you would like to work with. The child referral, or when your family is offered a specific child or children for adoption, is a very exciting time for all of us. At this time, our orphanage partners collaborate with IBSR in recommending which family might best serve each child in their care who has been declared legally free for adoption. Once IBESR has approved a recommendation for a match, they will issue a letter to ABI's agency representative in Haiti. We will alert your family and share information about the child with you as soon as we have your referral letter. Your family will need to accept your referral in writing, and then you will travel to Haiti for the socialization period. Both parents must travel for this 2-week time where you will meet the child and experience the culture. 3 of our 4 orphanage partners permit adoptive families to bring siblings with them on the socialization trip. ABI will assist you in all aspects of your travel and accommodations in Haiti. After the socialization trip, the overseas adoption and immigration processes will move forward. IBESR will issue an authorization of adoption. Our orphanage partners will obtain all of the documents needed to legalize your adoption. You can read about the details of the legal process on ABI's Haiti blog. Then, the orphanage partners and our agency will work together to obtain a passport for your child and complete the child's dossier for submission to the U.S. Department of State. After the necessary immigration approvals for Hague adoption have been made, the orphan visa is issued for your child to emigrate to the United States. One or both parents will travel again to bring your child home from Haiti. Haitian adoptions have undergone enormous changes over the past years. Once, it was legal for families to adopt independently, to travel to Haiti to choose a child from any orphanage, and there was no government supervision of how children came into care. No counseling or an attempt at family preservation was required before a child was relinquished forever for adoption. None of these practices are allowed any longer. There have been many changes that have altered the landscape and procedure for Haiti adoption in the recent past. In 2012, IBESR rewrote their policies to include many more protections for Haiti children and their biological families. A new adoption law, passed in November of 2013, puts many of these policies into national law. On April 1, 2014, Haiti became a member of the Hague Convention on International Adoption. On July 14, 2014, the Universal Accreditation Act came into effect. The legislation requires that a Hague-accredited agency facilitate all adoptions of children for U.S. citizens. These changes are all focused on increasing protections for birth families, adoptive families, and most importantly, the children through the Haitian international adoption process. All biological families considering placing a child for adoption must be interviewed by a multidisciplinary team at IBESR to explore all options for family preservation. If family preservation is impossible or determined not to be in the child's best interest, and the family fully understands the finality and consequence of international adoption, they may relinquish their parental rights. This relinquishment becomes final 30 days later. Only IBESR can declare a child legally free for adoption. Only those orphanages which IBESR has accredited to perform adoptions may participate in the adoption of Haitian children. ABI partners with 4 licensed orphanages. Under the new policies, IBESR accredited 19 U.S. agencies, including ABI, to perform adoptions in Haiti. Only an accredited U.S. agency may submit an adoption dossier for a U.S. family. Working together, the orphanage and adoption agency will complete dossier preparation for adoptive family and child, the legal adoption, and emigration of the child to his new family. Independent adoptions, private adoptions, and designated adoptions outside of family adoption are illegal. Extensive post-placement reporting requirements have been put in place to protect children and families. The post-adoption reports are an important accountability that the child is doing well in the adoptive family. All Blessings International is very blessed to have been accepted as a partner by 4 of the best orphanages in Haiti. Our partners are Au Bonheur des Enfants, usually called OBE, Brebis de Saint-Michel de l'Atelier, or Bresma, God's Littlest Angels, and New Life Link. God's Littlest Angels and New Life Link have specific religious requirements for families and require families to apply separately to adopt from their orphanages, as well as your regular ABI application. All of our partners were recognized for providing the highest quality of care in a survey of the orphanages in Haiti in 2013, conducted by IBESR, UNICEF, and other large NGO partners. Children in care receive at least 3 meals per day, regular medical care, and live in a clean, safe environment. Each of our partners attempts to meet the children's emotional and developmental needs with long-term, loving staff, high staffing ratios, and toys and stimulation. They don't just care for the children, they love them. Unlike orphanages in Eastern Europe and Asia, the Haitian orphanages ABI works with do not take children in at birth and keep them for many years. Generally, children come into care and are placed for adoption as quickly as possible. Most of them lived in families and had a chance to form healthy attachments. Many of the generalizations and warnings about adopting older children do not apply to the children in our Haiti program. We have placed many older children and siblings in families who are thriving. As for our in-country adoption program and process, our Haiti program is well established, and we work only with partners who can demonstrate that they have successfully completed hundreds of adoption cases. ABI is known as a conservative agency. We are unwilling to accept avoidable risks to our adoptive families or to our waiting children. We follow Haitian and U.S. laws and policies very strictly at all times. As Haiti Program Coordinator, I travel to Haiti regularly, usually about every other month. You can read about my adventures on our Haiti blog. While in Haiti, I visit each of our partners and often participate in government meetings about child welfare and adoption policy. This has allowed ABI to form relationships with government agencies and learn about the application of laws and policies. We use this knowledge to serve our children and families. At Bresma and Obe orphanages, I spend time with the children and their nannies to learn about each child's individual personality and needs. I work with the creche directors to suggest a match with the waiting family that will best serve each child. Each child is completely different, a unique and precious soul to be treasured and respected. For new LifeLink and God's Littlest Angels, we will not only pass along your family's dossier, but also the transcript of a personal interview to help them use your family in the best possible service of children in need. ABI is known for prompt and accurate client updates regarding your individual adoption case and Haitian adoption news in general. Good customer service is very important to us. You have the right to know what is going on in your adoption, as much as we or our partners can know what is happening. Haiti is a developing nation. Accomplishing the most basic tasks, such as having a replacement key made, retrieving lost airline luggage, getting a birth certificate, is monumentally difficult. Traffic is intense, offices have irregular hours, no business is done by telephone, fax, or email. There are risks and challenges with all international adoptions, and Haiti is certainly no exception. Families need to be informed of and prepared for the frustrations that will happen. I make only one promise to every family adopting from Haiti. Something will go wrong. We promise something will go wrong. Some piece of paper will be lost. Some decree will have a misspelling. A judge will go on vacation and there will be no substitute to run his court and sign off on your dossier. It's going to be a rough ride with ups and downs and thrills and anxiety for you and your family while you wait. If you are the sort of person who needs to feel in control of everything important in your life, if you cannot accept how little control you or even ABI or even our Haitian partners will have over when your child comes home, we do not recommend Haitian adoption for your family. It's not easy, no matter how well prepared you think you might be. Haitian adoptions are frustrating, exhausting, an emotional roller coaster. But for those who are up to the challenge, it is well worth the struggle. Thanks for listening to this presentation. It is my passion. A few adoptive family references will be rolling through the closing song, and you are welcome to request direct contact information if you feel that speaking with an experienced adoptive family will be helpful to you as you consider taking the next step in your adoption journey. Best wishes to you.